This is the way.
Tell that to Kanja Club.
Now this is pod racing.
The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun. The
Dad Wars.
has. Ichuta.
How was that? There's a lot going on there. So I just realized we went from three people waiting to watch the show, and as soon as I started it, it dropped down to one.
It's probably me.
Whoever, like, they heard that intro and they were just like, "Oh man, I'm out of here. This is the wrong place to be."
What's it? Welcome to what's the club? What's that line?
Kanji Club.
Tell that to Kanja Club.
Tell that to Kanja Club.
Kanji Club from a space Scotsman. I love it. So I guess Aaron won't be tuning in either because he and Edison are going to get caught up on 2 episodes of the Bad Batch tonight. California time. Bad Batch. So here we are. This is our inaugural spin-off of our Bad Batch review segment from our big Monday show, because Monday's shows are getting out of control. Like, there's too much content. So
I stayed up and watched the whole thing, but yeah, it was like over 2 hours.
Yeah, it was like 240 something. So with that episode, what happened was, again, I was guilty of playing a couple of sequential frames of the Bad Batch episode 9. Got flagged. They didn't shut down the stream like they did that other week, but after it was all said and done, they blocked it right away.
They said you can't use it at all. Just put it away. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I mean, they didn't delete it. It's in my archive, like it's in my YouTube studio, but there's nothing I can do with it other than they said I could trim the egregious section out. So I went to see, all right, maybe it's just like a couple frames. It was like 45 minutes. It was like all your stuff. It was like all of our review stuff. So I was like, no way. Yeah. So what I did was I pulled it down and brought it into Premiere, and this is where people get to see behind the scenes. This is why people really tune in. We got 3 people watching now. One of them's you, I think.
Oh, 3.
So I brought it in Premiere, and I cut the front off. Remember, we had like 20 minutes of technical errors in the front, so I cut that off. And then I was like, well, let's see, because you had asked me this earlier, if it's not a live stream, if it's pre-recorded, maybe I can get away with it. So I cut out just the technical issue part at the front, and then I let it render, because it's like almost a 3-hour program, so it took like an hour to render, and then I posted it, and then it took like 30 minutes to process, and then it was live for 2 minutes, and I sent Aaron the link because he's trying to watch it, and a friend of his is trying to watch it, and it blocked within 2 minutes. It was shut down again. So I brought it back. I have it in Premiere still, so that now I just put a big huge Dad Wars watermark over the exact spot where it says the 40 minutes or so that it says it's breaking all kinds of copyright laws. Or
I guess you could probably just do the audio and do like a photo or something on that part or something. Yeah.
Well, I'm just trial and error. So I think if I put our big Dad Wars watermark over the whole picture, and then the part where it seemed to trigger it, which was either the Lucasfilm logo or the Star Wars, that cool 3D logo at the beginning with the different helmets and lightsaber lights, I think that might trigger it. Or even if the Bad Batch, like, the frame in the front, the title is just like, it's static art, or it's just art, and it just kind of drifts a little bit. I think even that might trigger it, but... So we'll see. I'll figure it out, and we'll figure it out. And then this is a labor of love. But
well, it looks much better. Like on the streaming on Monday, it looks much better on my TV. Like it's very clear on the Fire Stick.
Yeah.
It's like perfectly clear, and on Monday it was like all I could see everything, and it wasn't freezing, but it was like very like pixelated. You know,
was it choppy?
Like kind of.
Was the playback choppy?
It wasn't choppy. It was in time, but it wasn't like a clear.
Yeah.
Like now it looks like clear, like 4K perfect. It looks really nice, but Monday it didn't look as good on my end. Like I said, maybe my internet wasn't working as well or something. I don't know, but it just didn't.
I think it saves it down. Like everything we record live, YouTube graciously saves it, and then you can pull it down, you can edit it, you can trim it, and then have it in your archives for playback. You can set it to private or unlisted. But the playback looks really good. So I don't know if it's just like as it airs like live that you're just getting like just a narrower quality.
Well, now it looks really good right now. Like,
but now, yeah. And it's weird. I'm still
good.
getting like I'm getting a message that says that viewers will experience buffering, not receiving enough video. So I do need a new computer, but also every episode of the show starts out with us talking about like the technical issues with this. That's the Dad Wars difference.
It's dad talk talking about technical stuff.
That's right.
This is the way.
We're true to our names, so our kind.
Let me do this real quick just to say
so
just to show something real quick.
Okay. Is this where we get to see there we go. There's Lou.
Is he trying to see if he's...
This is the usual reaction of someone who watches our live stream.
For some reason it's blurry. I'm not sure why it's blurry, but this is the puppy.
I don't know. You have some setting on your phone that it like, yeah. Now his snout is in focus, so it's doing some kind of like digital shallow depth of field, which is kind of cool. I thought that's what that was happening. So if anybody's watching besides us, I'd love if we could get some people in the chat to help us usher this thing along. So we're here to talk about The Bad Batch, season 1, episode 10, called Common Ground. And
I feel like all I want to talk about is like the fact that Omega is Boba Fett's sister.
Yeah, we can revisit last week before we get to this week.
And they totally like didn't even like say anything about that episode. I'm like,
yeah, they just like it never happened.
Yeah, I'm eager for like the whole world knows the significance of that revelation, but on the show it's like, oh, we'll get around to it when we get around to it. But you know what I mean? Like it's fine. But
yeah,
it's just
I was watching Star Wars Meg and her take on it. She's an interesting commentator on she loves Star Wars, but she was saying that it felt like it should have been way earlier in the season, this episode. And like by this point, like just what you're saying, like we need to be last week we were talking about like plot points where things were moving like so fast, so quickly, and it was just jam packed. And then we have this episode, which just is almost like a standalone, right? Like it's not pushing those
this
plots.
One was more about, I guess, like I'd say more about the character development and the relationship between Hunter and her and him, like, you know, trusting her and you know, missing her basically, kind of.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna
just
jump to
showing
her.
how smart she is as well, you know, showing that she does have like skills.
She's got skills. We keep seeing all these skills, and it's like where are these skills coming from? Are they inherent from her dad Django, or program, or like enhancements, or just, you know, Could you?
Yeah,
I was thinking about this. Could you put her in a Mary Sue box like you can with some other characters in Star Wars and other franchises, like a character that just like emerges, comes out of nowhere and has like all these has basically everything already. They possess everything they already need to to be the hero to win.
I think maybe that's the point of the Bad Batch, is to have her like earn her stripes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when she first got her like bowcaster thing, she wasn't very good with it, and then she practiced and got better. And they've showed like in the last episode or the episode before, where it showed Wrecker like teaching her, about how to disarm the mines and stuff, like it. So I feel like this whole thing is just basically her earning her stripes. So when they bring her back on like a live action show later on,
which you are so banking on right now.
Well, I think it's like obvious it is going to happen, but like I said, it's so when she does come in, she has that built-in like gravitas. Like she has that built-in like when she comes in and she's like a kick-ass character.
Yeah.
You believe it. It's not like someone that you have to like. She doesn't have to earn it anymore. She's already earned it from this show.
Yeah.
So that's my thought. I don't know, but
this is just laying the groundwork for, like we were saying last week, like decades of this character evolving and becoming like the next Luke Skywalker. Like totally earned though. Like it's gonna take a while. Like it took Ahsoka 10 years and like being in 2 shows and a movie, and now a 3rd show. I was referencing Clone Wars for all those seasons, and then shoot, I can't get into spoiler territory with you, right? With some things.
Well, I'm assuming she's going to be in Rebels at some point, so that's fine.
Potentially. But she's showing up all across the timeline, and showing up in different shows. So yeah, it's going to be the same thing with Omega, and like this show. It's so much bigger than I imagined it would be. I hoped it would be like as epic as this, but the storylines are just really connecting everything. Don't you think?
Well, yeah, and just think when they introduced the Bad Batch, kind of like on the final season of the Clone Wars, kind of like it, like they used to do back like in the 80s when they would have like like a TV show would have
like the A-Team, right?
The A-Team would have like these weird characters that would come on, and then they would try to spin off a show. Or was it with the Jeffersons?
Oh,
was it the Jeffersons spinned off Archie Bunker's Place or something like that?
That's right.
Like they would do that. That's kind of what they did. But who would have thought that? We thought we were getting the show with these like cool, like crazy clones that were different from other clones. Like, and then
what?
The focus of the show has become Omega, and then it's like we've been waiting to see what the mystery was behind her, and then it's even when it finally came out, it's it's a really good one. They did a good job, So it was definitely worth the wait, even though some people said maybe they should have been earlier. You're saying, but I definitely think they built it up and made it worth the wait. And to see where it goes is going to be interesting. But I would have never thought that was in a million years. I would have never thought that's the way the show was going to go when it started. That, this little girl character was going to be so important.
Yeah, right. She wasn't even like when the Bad Batch appeared in the Clone Wars final season. 7.
No,
there's no. Yeah, you had no clue. You just thought it was going to be about this A-Team that's going around just surviving and crushing it, and then it's just got so much more than that, and then it's all connecting to other things that we love about Star Wars. So this one's called Common Ground, and there's so much. It's like I was saying, like it could be a one-off, but there's still a lot of Star Wars stuff happening in here.
Well, just like it seems like it could be almost like a filler episode, but it also has, it gets into like the politics.
The politics,
and, know,
right.
like the Senate stuff with that guy and
yeah,
all that stuff. So that's like,
so,
an important part of Star Wars and all that stuff going on, and like what's going on behind the scenes and, politically and how they're taking over and stuff. But it's, is that going to come back to later on? Are we going to, with these shows, you never know what character you're going to see again. It seems like with the Dave Filoni stuff that everything is like tied in, that's going to come back and link back later, especially with like the Mandalorian and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this to me felt like a really good episode of the Clone Wars. Like, not the final season, because that's kind of like like CGI wise and like quality wise. I'm still here, by the way. It looks like season 7 Clone Wars, but the episode, the story, and the pacing feels like a mid part of Clone Wars lifespan, like season 3 or 4. But because you've got like the ATE walkers, and you've got a bunch of clones running around like a city, and it's daylight, like where you like the clone, like the Bad Batch, it's always like they're in a dark place, right?
It's usually dark and dingy. This is like it did seem
this is bright and pretty
and bright.
Yeah, and there's civilization. They're not on a junk planet or like in a casino or like a bar. So that was interesting. Like that, it just felt like tonally different, like than any Clone War, than any Bad Batch episode that we've seen so far, which I really appreciated. And it just like the battle sequences, like it felt like a really strong Clone Wars episode, and not so much like a Bad Batch episode, like you were saying. So
no, I know what you mean. Like it's when they're in this place, and then like I noticed like later on, this is all clean and beautiful, and then when they go back to to Sid's bar, when they're at the end, you see like there's a part where it pans down and you see some kind of like rodent or something, some kind of little animal scurrying across like a wire up top, like real quick. And, it just shows like it's a weird contrast to go from like this beautiful place to like, they're back down in the dumps again.
Yeah, I would have stayed on this planet Raxus. This planet. So this planet was featured in the Clone Wars before, and at least mentioned, but I know that it's like it's a system made up of people, I guess, who and a government that did not want to join the Republic.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been here before. My memory of that storyline is kind of vague, but so these guys have kind of always been on not the outs with the Republic, but not interested. But this guy is also, we find out, not interested in the senator. He doesn't want to join the Empire either.
Yeah.
Right? But he really, it's clear he doesn't really have a choice. And this, her name is like Lieutenant Bragg or something like that. Commander Bragg. I don't know anything about her, but try to do some homework on this. But so you get all kinds of, remember we were talking earlier about like using the same character models. Like if you don't look too hard at these crowd scenes, because you'll see a lot of dudes wearing the same shirts, which is fine.
Having their arms folded the same way.
Yeah, like that's where the budget
funny.
starts to show. But there's like a Rhodian over there. There's all kinds of cool aliens. Oh, and then something I didn't figure out, but someone else did, and I thought I would mention it. But throughout the episode, so this character, I can't remember the species, or her race this blue alien, but Lucas himself did a cameo in Revenge of the Sith, like the opera house scene. And it's the same type of alien.
Is that the same race that she
at the end?
At the end, is that the same race she beats in the game?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It is. And that's like we've seen that droid before.
Yeah.
It's a cool like Death Star droid, but it's also I feel like we saw a junked one in like in the Jawa Sandcrawler maybe, but
is it? Maybe I'm thinking it looks maybe just the eyepiece. It looks like in the first season of The Mandalorian, that episode
I know
where
you
they're
were
like,
gonna say that.
you know, that one droid that's like the mercenary droid. It kind of looks like that.
Yeah, from our guy from the IT crowd plays that guy.
Oh yeah. Is that the same? Like you said, I've only seen the episode.
It's
I don't
close.
Really it.
It's close, but that is more like for LOM, like a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Remember those 4LOM or 4LOM and Zuckuss from Empire, that brief cameo? I think that one's more like that.
So like when and like, you know, this guy basically stands up. He doesn't want to go with the Empire, and you know, tell the people to listen. You know, he kind of rebels against them. But when they say they want him to go, when they go back, oh look, there's one of the little band members in the back.
Oh yeah, the little So I think that now their option is like, all right, so the Separatists are gone. There's kind of like a power vacuum. So now here comes the Empire, and they're just offering like, you know, to join the big league, you know.
Yeah.
But he like doesn't want to. So.
Well, and what's his face? I think Echo mentioned it too. Like I can't believe we're helping the Separatists or something. Doesn't he say something that? And
yeah, that's right. Because he was like he's like a hardcore like clone. Like he's probably seen more than a lot of them, and so he's very. You could see his loyalty. He really wants nothing to do with it. And I guess that's where that's why they call the episode Common Ground. Would be like
was it
clones?
Was it the Separatists? Was it the Separatists? Were they the ones that like took Echo prisoner?
Yeah.
Or aligned with him, at least?
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, that's true.
That's probably why
Sorry, there you go. No, these are all good questions. And I need to refresh. I need to just keep watching Clone Wars till it's burned into my brain. Like there are like some story arcs and seasons and episodes that stand out to me clear as day. And then smaller, what I feel like were smaller episodes, but still good that I don't quite remember the details of. So, that's what I'm hoping. Like if we can get a viewership to where people can help us along here. Because we're going to end up calling this show Grandpa Wars at some point. If we can't remember figuring Dan's species, like I can't remember. And I was looking at him earlier today and I'm like, oh, that's
I'm the worst at that. Don't ask me. I'm horrible.
Matt Drum's really good at recalling that stuff. And but he's never, I don't think he's ever watched this show, which is disheartening.
Come on, Matt.
Luis is here. He says he's been watching on the TV.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get the mic on the TV. If I can get the chat to pop up, but it's not showing.
He just says, "Been watching on the TV." Oh. I'll say hello, Luis. We're gonna get your chats and featured in the window here next show, hopefully, or the next show after that. But all right, yeah. So I'm glad you're asking me all this stuff because I need to. If I'm going to host a show about Star Wars, I better get with it.
But so
yeah, he gets. Of course, he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. At first, he is like, but he looked down at the masses of his citizens, and he said he needed to do the right thing for them, by them, and so now he's a prisoner of the newly formed Empire. There's a Twi'lek running around, and so that's his loyal protocol or his loyal escort droid calling for backup, calling for help. That's pretty smart. I wish I had a droid that would call for help. So they're back on Ord Mantell, right? More Ord Mantell munch mix, racking up that bill. I love that shot. Is that just great? Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see it yet, but They're all walking back together.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
And Omega's on Wrecker's shoulder. It's just like the best. I got such a great feeling when I saw that, and I was like, I was thinking, where is this?
In their hands.
Yeah, I was like, where's this episode going? I had no idea. Oh, but then like Echo, he sniffs it. Like he hasn't tried it before, but there's a moment right there where he sniffs it. Like Piper, my middle kid picked that out. She's like, he sniffed it. All right, and we get Rhea Perlman back for a little bit. So the back.
We have
the droid. I mean, she must know everybody in the galaxy, but the droid called her for help of all people. So she's well connected, right? Apparently.
Yeah. And yeah, this is interesting. Like, you know, like they said, they don't want to do the mission because they don't want to help a separatist. And she kind of says, you don't have a choice. Basically, you need the money. You still owe me money.
I did not get a good feeling about that when she said that. It's just like, it's like if these guys weren't such Boy Scouts, they could just take over your little parlor right now.
Well, you know, like you said, she knows everybody. So
this is true. Yeah. And you know what? You're right. She knows that. She doesn't feel threatened by anything.
No.
That's great. She's a really neat character. If they came out with a figure for her, which I feel like they will, I will buy it.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Aaron a few weeks ago, I have to be very selective. Like I'm on a limited budget, you know. So but that one I would spring for.
And of course, like, and for some, he doesn't want to put Omega in Jeopardy. So he's like, you need to stay here for this one. We don't.
Oh
we
yeah,
don't need for this.
That was really interesting. Like they decided to take this mission to go rescue this separatist senator from this planet this civilization that they never aligned with the Galactic Republic. So. But yeah, he feels like she needs to stay behind. After this is kind of calling back to now he's like scared to take her anywhere because she got kidnapped by 2 bounty hunters in one one shot, basically. 2 on separate assignment, 2 different mission bounty hunters. So that's heavy. So he knows like she's super valuable. They all do. I mean, the Bad Batch knows. Everyone's after her at this point. And I think even Echo tells her she needs to keep a low profile.
He's also worried, you know, he doesn't want to, they lost her. He doesn't want to lose her again. You know,
and he loves her.
Yeah.
He's dad. He's the dad batch. But someone pointed out to me, I don't know if you can see the screen. I've had it on for a couple seconds there, but right in the center frame on the bar, that's an electronic sabacc machine, like the card game of sabacc. That's like
is it?
Yeah, that's a digital version that I saw somebody pick out.
That's funny.
Yeah, I try to pick up on stuff myself, but I don't get half of it. Like, but I just thought it was worth mentioning since I landed on this frame, but. So that's the card game that Lando was famous for losing. Like he lost a hand of sabacc to Han, and Han won the Falcon. Fair and square.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's cool.
Hello, what have we here?
So she stays behind. Now Sid's babysitting, and Sid puts her to work, throws her a sponge, and now she has to start cleaning this bar up.
She needs to earn her keep.
Yeah. So now the boys are back on another mission. It's just a slog. They look tired.
Well, like I said, like he said, he wants to give her, Hunter says he wants to give her a break. She's tired or whatever. And like, you know, Wrecker's like, she doesn't look tired to me. She looks fine, you know, because, you know, like Wrecker just wants to have her around because, you know, that's like his buddy.
That's like his best friend. Like, yeah.
Hunter's worried about her. You know, Hunter is like, I don't want to lose her again. I don't want anything to happen to her. But
Yeah, that is just perfectly in line with Wrecker's personality. Just to like charge ahead and not think about anything, but like he's in the moment, right? He doesn't like. He's not introspective. He doesn't plan ahead. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He thinks about Plan 7 every now and again, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, like he's just in the moment. He's a puppy dog, and he's the dumb brother to Omega. She's almost like his big sister, right? She's a little kid, but she's like superior in many ways. But
oh yeah, well this scene right here.
Oh.
That shot that you had, that's like right when Echo, says, "I can't believe we're gonna go rescue a separatist" or whatever. That's actually the point where he says it.
He's been out of shape. I know. Why do I feel like Tarkin had something to do with that kidnapping of Echo? Like he was behind it.
I don't know. I think it's and like it's
I've got to watch that whole I got to watch the Clone Wars all over again.
It's a lot. I was looking at how many episodes.
It's so much. Yeah.
But in this one it's like I said, this, like we were saying, this plane, it's like a totally different feel from what the show has been like. And I know what you mean. Like it looks like a Clone Wars. Like Clone Wars I know from the few episodes that I've seen besides season 7. The final season, it's very clean. It's always they're always on. Usually they're like on very clean worlds, or like everything is like nice looking and pretty.
Yeah.
And so I understand what you're saying. Like it does. They go back to that world. It does feel like that. But
it just has a totally different feel. Yeah, they're like on like Mandalore or the upper levels of Coruscant, or yeah. But it's just not gritty like the usual episodes, and I kind of like it.
It looks like more like a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Usually. That's what they look like. That kind of.
Oh, that's approach, a good shot too.
Establishing shot. Coming up and the ship landing somewhere off in the distance. It looks like a classic Star Wars scene. But
Red 5 standing by.
That shot is so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Anytime they're like, it almost looks like they're like posing together, but they're just they're piling out of the ship, but they just all look so cool.
Yeah.
There's these guys in Russia called Cybercraft, and they just make helmets and armor like really well, and they've gotten a lot of good reviews, and I actually messaged the owner of the company, and he messaged me back, and we talked a little bit. But anyway, what I was going to say was they're pre-ordering all these helmets. Like if you had money to burn, you could just get on this pre-order.
Expensive?
Yeah. Cause they're all like, they do their own 3D models. There's a whole process. I should post a video, like a link to their stuff. It's so impressive, but it's like a small, like mom and pop, but it's just a bunch of young guys and girls that have a passion for Star Wars. And so they're making all these really like authentic looking helmets.
I'd love to have a Wrecker. If I was going to get one, I'd probably get Wrecker's helmet.
That's the one I like. I may or may not have added it to my cart.
It's just sitting there waiting.
Depends if Laura's watching or not. All right, so here's
this one. Like this episode's pretty like standard. Or this part is like pretty standard.
Storytelling.
Mission and stuff.
Yeah.
I did like like I said, it's cool. Like they weren't. Oh, there's my guys.
I know. Were you going to say they weren't with this episode? They're not. It's not heavy into the main story arc right now.
Well, I was just saying, like, the rescue and stuff was pretty, like standard, rescue. But we haven't got to it yet. But there is something funny I was thinking. But and we just discovered, or today I was talking to Justin, texting with him, but the two characters that are on the screen, the Hammerhead, I forgot what, I'm bad with names, so his name is Bolo, and the other guy with it looks like tree bark. I forgot.
Who was? I believe they were a skiff guard in Return of the Jedi. I don't know their names, but
Bolo is the Hammerhead, and the other guy is Ketch. And if you go back and watch episode 7 of season 7 of Clone Wars, they're, I don't know if it's supposed to be the same characters, but it's the exact same characters are the ones that they released from the prison when Ahsoka and the sisters are trying to escape. Like, they let those guys out, and like if you look there, it's like it's the exact same character design and everything. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
but
I mean, the screenshot you sent me was nearly the same framing, the same poses, and it's the two of these guys, hanging out together.
And they've kind of been there all season. Ever since they've shown up at What's Her Face's place, they've been there. They've been there the whole time. They're always like in the background. They were the ones that were like betting on Omega if she could hit the target. Remember when she was shooting the bowcaster?
Yeah.
They're betting if she could hit the target or not and stuff like that. So yeah, they've been kind of like
I was saying before. She's Carla from Cheers, and they're like Norm and Cliff.
Bolo and Ketch.
Because they're,
I think it's Ketch. It's K-E. Yeah, I think it's
Ketch. Yeah, they're always there. So Bolo is the Hammerhead.
Yeah, and the other guy it's Ketch. I think is how it's spelled. I looked it up today, but yeah, they actually have names. I didn't realize. I don't know if they've said it in the show or not, or if it's just they just give them names just to have it in the. It's funny looking at that shot right there. You don't realize how huge that one guy is. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Look at the size of him compared to the other people in the shot. Like, he's not even fully standing up, and he's like a huge, huge creature. And if you go back in that episode of Clone Wars, when he escapes, he knocks over like a guard and throws the guard like across like 15 feet in the air, and it's somebody else. So they must be really like a strong race, of a strong species or whatever. But you don't realize how big he is. He looks like really huge compared to the other characters. It's kind of neat.
I was trying to do a little homework on him and I can't. And then my wife just walks in. What's up? I'm on with Ray. We're doing a show.
Oh, I didn't hear doing a show.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I see someone in the background. They should do a hey.
I should have a studio light lit up at the basement, at the top of the basement. All right. She's been at Mom's Night. It's First Friday Mom's Night, so I don't know what kind of shape she's in right now.
Oh, she's been having some of the blue milk.
Rude.
She's been drinking some blue milk. That's right. All right. Catch up with you in a little bit.
Catch up with you.
See you on the flip side. May the force be with you.
They're gonna have a Bolo and Ketch episode. Watch. Yeah, probably. But
all right.
That's when, and this part is like when she isn't this when she start. Oh, maybe it's a little bit later when she starts like letting on that she knows how to play that game and knows that. I think it's a little bit later on, but that part was pretty cool too.
Yeah, and that hollow chess what's it called? Dejaric or something like that. But that's the game.
It's been in
Chewie used to crush it on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I was just watching an episode of Rebels and they were playing it on Rebels as well. Like it's like kind of all throughout Star Wars, that game.
Yeah, that'll show up. That shows up everywhere. But it's like there's two games. There's like Hollow Chess and then there's Sabacc. It's very simple. It's a very simple universe. We looked this up we looked this up before when we were talking about Hammerhead. Ithorians.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do some homework. Let's keep following these two. Maybe they'll end up getting a spin-off like Mork and Mindy. Remember Mork and Mindy talking about spin-offs? Mork and Mindy spun off of Happy Days.
Oh yeah.
And Laverne and Shirley spun off of Happy Days.
And Empty Nest spun off Golden Girls.
Ooh, nice. But get this. And who was in Golden Girls? Greg's favorite actress, Bea Arthur, who was in the Star Wars Holiday Special. But going back to Happy Days, wasn't Happy Days a result of American Graffiti being such a phenomenal hit? Right?
Yeah.
Who did that? Lucas. So if Lucas didn't direct American Graffiti, we wouldn't have Happy Days, we wouldn't have Laverne and Shirley or Mork and Mindy. Think about it.
It's probably true.
That is crazy. I guess that 50s nostalgia was here and that was around in the 70s, right?
Yeah, but I think that's like American Graffiti is what made it like big,
it really brought it to the main.
And then Happy Days took it to like another level. I think
for years. For years, yeah.
Show, yeah.
Was that still running when you and I were kids, or was it already syndicated?
It was still running because I feel like I remember watching it like on like primetime TV, but I'm not that much of an expert on Happy Days but I feel like it was still going. I feel like it went well into the 80s.
Yeah.
Like before it like literally became created, it jumped the shark.
And take it even further, if we didn't have Happy Days, we wouldn't have had the Buddy Holly video.
Yeah.
Which really affects our lives in the 90s.
Or if we wouldn't have had Happy Days, we probably wouldn't have had Arrested Development.
Oh my God. Yeah, Ron Howard, and also Barry Zuckerkorn, the worst lawyer ever, the worst attorney.
And then just the link isn't the person who one of the creator of Arrested Development also worked on Golden Girls, so that links to that as well.
Mitch Hurwitz.
Yeah, he was a writer on like the last couple seasons of the Golden Girls, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all connected, just like Star Wars.
It's all linked.
I love Sid.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your boys. Okay. We'll keep an eye on these two. Who knows? They're kind of endearing.
I like them. they definitely grow on me.
Now, I'm pretty sure you said Ketch is the Ithorian, and our other guy is...
Bolo's the Thorian. The other guy.
Sorry, Bolo and Ketch. So Ketch is like, I think he's like, he's the same species as, and I said it earlier, but if I say it again, it's true. He's like, his species is like a skiff guard in Return of the Jedi in Jabba's palace. I wish we had an audience who could fact check that, but I'm just working from my memory as a 9-year-old. Who am I kidding? I've watched that movie like every year since I was 9. Yeah,
and it's the exact same character design as the two that are in Clone Wars, except for he doesn't have like the voice. Bolo doesn't have the voice thing on when he's like a prisoner. They added that to this character, but everything else, like the clothes, everything is exactly the same blue shirt or whatever he's wearing.
I'm pretty sure you'll see in Rebels like a few of those Ithorians have that translator on their backs because they talk out of both sides of their mouths.
I wonder if they have the same blue shirt on too.
That I don't remember, but maybe. So now you're going to be looking for him all through Rebels, I think.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they'll have them together somewhere else in Rebels. Like if you go through it, they stole those characters from there and just keep on using them over and over.
So Maria says, "Hey." Maria's here. She and Will, our friends in Hackettstown, joined us for the first couple episodes, and then they kind of bailed on us. No, they're busy. They have a young son and a beautiful young daughter. And
I hope we're not boring you, Maria.
No, Maria loves Star Wars.
Our 3 listeners, including me.
Maria loves Star Wars. And so does Will. They gave me that Imperial, that TIE Fighter pilot Lego.
Oh, cool.
Bust for my birthday, early June, but it was so hard to put together. It's all like little black tiny pieces. It was awful. All right, let's see.
And you know what?
Go
One thing
ahead.
about this, what we were saying about this episode is we were kind of saying, like, even though Omega's not with them, but how they kind of like lost their way and they're kind of having a hard time. But this episode shows like when they have like a plan and have the time, you know, when they have to, boy, they just go in, get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, like they're in and out.
This
like,
was
pretty quick.
this was the Bad Batch from like the Clone Wars season 7 that just come in and just like with surgical precision get the mission done. It was so fun to watch them not get like cornered or surrounded or they like were owning the situation. And here's another. This is Tech Cam, right? Is this Tech's?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Tech. I think he's looking because he's like, I can see signatures of blah, 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 these people inside and stuff.
Okay. Oh, doesn't he have, I think he has control of that remote.
Not yet.
Not
They
yet.
go
He
up to
will.
the building. When they get there, he gets it.
Okay. Got some regulation clones, regular clones. They're just.
Now, are these still clones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I by the voice, they are.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're just like their inhibitor chips are working at 100% capacity.
And I think one guy, and I just noticed because I was looking at voice actors the past couple episodes, the one guy does all the voices for all the Bad Batch.
Yeah, D. Bradley Baker. He's like the entire cast except for Omega and Sid. Like
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. He's Rex. He's all of them. He's the sound alike for Tamara Morrison, like for Django, you know. And it's kind of like evolved into its own thing. It's not quite New Zealander. It's like its own thing, but it's still familiar enough, right? It's still kind of. I'm curious to see how. I guess if we get like a live action Rex, then we're gonna hear it's gonna be Tamara Morrison.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's gonna take vocal lessons from D. Baker, like.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do a live action Rex just because they have him as Boba Fett now, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do that. I think that'll be too confusing to people. You know what I mean? But like I said, you never know. But I just don't. I for some reason I don't see them doing that. I think they keep Rex in the animated world.
That'd be fine. That'd be fine with me. But I feel like there would be an opportunity in Ahsoka for him to make a season 2 finale, like cliffhanger.
I did notice that little like right on the thing right there, he has a little skull on the side of his helmet. I think that's I just noticed that episode.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I guess they all have the skull, but it's like in different places, and they all have the little BB symbol or the little, you know, looks like a Chinese character, which I guess it's like
it's on on Hunter, it's like on his like shoulder, I think, and on Wrecker it's like on the front of his helmet. But yeah, it's all in a different place. It's kind of neat.
Oh, that's cool. So I bet you picked up on something else I found interesting, which was they're coming in blasting, right? But they're just stunning everybody. All their weapons are set to stun. Is that because they're brothers, like the clone? Even though they know not what they do, like they don't want to kill their brethren, They're brothers
But
in arms.
it wasn't in the last episode. They were like blasting away in that one. But maybe these guys, since they're trying to.
That's true. That was a real firefight. And they were just throwing them off of cliffs and off of high. Yeah, like. But now, what's the difference? Why?
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to.
Why?
I noticed that too. I noticed like, oh, they're stunning everybody. They're not killing, and they're like knocking people out. Like like you hear them punching them and knocking them out. No one's really dead.
Yeah, even they go so far. Wrecker throws 3 clones out of the AT-TE Walker, and he says they're gonna feel that in the morning.
Yeah,
he didn't have to say that.
Really
yeah,
he didn't say that to that guy he threw off that ledge in the last episode. Those two
that guy's not gonna feel anything ever again. But he
down to their deaths.
Now, why did they make the decision not to blast these guys? Because they're on the offensive and not on the defense, right? Maybe that's the code. Maybe that's their code now, or
could be. Yeah, the other one they were being attacked. They weren't attacking, so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, they're not killers, but they are. That's what they're trained to do.
Yeah.
Oh man! So we learned that Omega is really good at Dejarik hollow chess, and so Sid comes up with a plan to put her to work, and they negotiate a cut.
There's my boys.
So first Sid goes 30%, like that's Omega's take, and Omega's like 60, and then it cut, and then Sid goes like, and then it cuts. So
yeah. So I guess he's getting 60%.
She's great. They're great. I love these characters. I do love these new characters. Bottle of wine. That's interesting. And bottle of red. That's just
this scene has the what's the little torture?
Oh, the interrogation droid.
Like from the first one where it's like looks like it's lower again, like someone has like a rod and reel.
Come on, no, it's totally levitating.
It looks better in this, but like in the original Star Wars, it looks really cheesy coming in. It's like
that's
like
one shot.
With like a,
that's one like, shot they didn't figure out. That's one shot out of but the sound effect is pretty cool. It's just not as menacing. Maybe it was then. I don't even remember as a kid I don't think I was really scared of that thing. But like you put like a hypodermic needle like from like the 50s.
It's got like a hypodermic needle like
from the
like a corkscrew, a pair of scissors.
But then you put on this really cool like hoverball thing that looks like a mini Death Star. And then it comes in on a string. But then they do like a weird like a 70s zoom. Remember, like in the 70s, they weren't doing as many dolly shots or crane shots. It was a lot of zooms, like just to get in on the action. Don't they do like a zoom in on that needle? It's not a dolly shot.
I can't remember. It's been so long. I just remember. Yeah. I always thought that thing looked really cheesy.
I think it's like just the whole thing is just. But yeah, so that shows up, and I've seen that. I think that's in Rebels. I think you'll see that. Right? Yeah, it shows up here and there. I think you'll see it in Rebels at least twice. Rebels really does like lean in hard on the original trilogy, like A New Hope,
because callbacks.
Yeah, because it's the same time period. Effectively, it's like within the same. It's a close time period, so you're gonna. That's why they did that. But man, like I was telling you earlier, the kid that does the breakdown, not even a breakdown, he just does like a passionate like video thesis that must have taken him forever, and he posted on YouTube, and it's gotten a ton of traction, and he did one for the Clone Wars too, but I don't know, the Rebels are close to my heart. I like the Rebels show and the characters so much, and I think you will too.
Yeah, I'm liking it already.
Yeah,
I'm only a few episodes in, but like I like this. I love this scene where they take over the tank, man. Like I said, it's
classic.
Like we're saying, it's just like prime.
Yeah.
Prime bad batch. You know, they just like fly in.
Yeah.
Take
there's
over
even
that tank in 2 seconds.
There's like a music cue earlier in this when they're just starting to run around the palace that it sounds like a little heisty, like heist music.
Mm-hmm.
Not too on the nose, but it's like you can tell like, okay, this is like heist music, which normally
like
bothers me, but it's real subtle.
From Rick and Morty.
Oh my god!
You son of a bee, I'm in.
That show is so good. This season, those 2 episodes are insane. It's so over the top.
This is the part that was making me laugh because it was like the slow-mo chase scene because those tanks are so slow. They're like, they're going over there. Like, okay, we'll catch up to them eventually.
Yeah. So there's a Walker chase scene. Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
It's like
they'd be better served just to get out on foot. But I guess they're not getting shot, so.
It's like Austin Powers when the thing is closer and closer. Like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
You get there in 5 seconds. You could run faster than that thing.
Look at that shot.
I thought that was a pretty cool. This whole scene was it's just so well done. Like
it
this
is.
show.
Like it's so well
done. Like I said, watching some of the early Clone Wars and like Rebels, even you see how far the animation has come and the camera angles and everything. It's just quality stuff.
It is.
It's really good.
And I'll watch every episode, not just because of the show, our reviews, but I do enjoy like rewatching them because there's things to catch and things you miss, and it's so good. And it's not a huge time commitment either as we're watching it. Yeah. Like it's not as daunting as like having to start Clone Wars all over again. Man, that shot is so cool. I'm gonna get that that'll be a screen grab for like next week or something. But I'm gonna send you the link to the Cyber Craft helmets, and you can see what Wrecker's helmet looks like in real life, and you might just want to get it. Man,
I would definitely be tempted.
Yeah,
but it does look cool. But
this is so cool. Clones fighting clones on a separatist planet. Like, there's so much going on here. It just, you could say filler episode. You didn't. I'm just saying the royal you, but like,
yeah, like it could, like on the surface you could say that, but I think there really is, like, as far as like the politics and then like saying how they don't want to help the separatists, and there is like a lot. I think it's all going to come back and go with the whole overall story, but it's definitely.
Yeah, I don't think it was just a one shot. They'll revisit this whole theme. Like Echo is probably going to resent the guys for making him go to take this mission. Like, of any mission they could take, why are we going to rescue a separatist who killed our brothers? You know, not directly, but indirectly.
Basically, like, look what they did to Echo. They like tortured him, cut off his arm. You know what I mean? Like they totally, like destroyed him. I'm sure he was like,
They were quick to take the mission too. They didn't hem and haw for too long over it. I know the episodes only have so much time, but they just kind of went for it. So this senator guy is pretty cool, right? Like his costume is silly. He's got a great voice. I didn't check out who the actor was, but
it's the actor.
Who is it?
It's actually like a pretty famous, or not famous, but I mean he's well known. You remember Syriana? Like in the movie Syriana, the one that gets the prince. That's the one that's trying to change things. That they end up. Spoiler. They end up killing him at the end.
He's great.
I'm pretty sure it's him.
Okay. Wow, he's good. That's quality. Like that voice casting. That they're just like, they don't mess around. And I think if you get the call like, hey, Disney and Star Wars want you to play this part. Here's your sides. Then no one's gonna say no.
It's not just a cartoon. It's it's Disney Star Wars. Like, it could be. you could be, you could be coming back and doing that character for years and years for all you know.
Yeah,
But
you're in the door. You're in the door.
I'm pretty sure it's that actor. But
yeah, I think you're probably right. I knew it sounded familiar. I didn't have time to fumble with the closing credits where every time the cast list comes up, it shrinks to a thumbnail, so you have to.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Without fail, every time. I've not had it not do it once.
So and this
is
get away,
awesome. Well, let's talk about how they get away. Like, so was this Tech's idea? Who said? Or no, the senator, Senator Singh, I guess is his name, but he said, yeah, go sidle up next to that wall. He knows.
Yeah, because they think it's going to be a dead end. He's like, no, trust me, go down this way.
Yeah, so now they have to trust this separatist. Like for a moment, they're like, that was a cool little moment there, right? Like,
yeah,
we're taking this guy's word for it. So they like, it's so funny. They just scoot up beside it sideways, which is great. And then this, I wish I could just play it, but we'll get kicked right off of YouTube. Look at that shot too. That's awesome. Wrecker just he's like, all right. There's a tunnel behind that wall. Just blow it up. And he's like, oh, with pleasure. And he like has one of his little detonators, his little toys, and just like opens the hatch, throws it in, closes the hatch. You get a little rumble,
shakes it,
some dust, and then it's like wide open. I wish we could play it. That was such a cool little sequence, right? That was like the guys are in their element, total control. Everybody's doing their part.
Yeah.
And they totally pull it off. They get away. And it's not like a Deus Ex Machina. It like makes perfect sense. I mean, the hole being there, but this it makes perfect sense because the senator would probably need an escape. You know, that's like it's like the White House. There's tunnels where they shove the president when things go down. So it's kind of like that. Now we're back in the lush forest.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, wait, what am I doing? I can't leave my people. And they're like, live to fight another day, Senator.
Yeah. There's not much you can do here. No one's on your side except for us right now.
So he wasn't so he wasn't, or his people weren't, at least he wasn't, from what I can tell, he wasn't a loyalist separatist. He was like, I just don't want to be part of the Galactic Republic.
Yeah.
So I think they were more neutral, but I'll do some homework and we'll get to the bottom of it. It's just a couple episodes, I think, in the Clone Wars, somewhere buried in the seasons, where they go to this planet and Dooku's trying to take over all these systems for this.
Oh, okay.
For this. He's trying to get them to join the Separatists or take over, which is what the Clone Wars is all about, but ostensibly, but it's really about, the Emperor.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Execute Order 66.
Oh, that's a cool shot, huh? Sorry.
So now they're back to the dirt.
Yeah. Now they're back in it.
And it is funny seeing the senator all dressed up with his perfectly clean outfit with everything like around him. It's so dingy.
Yeah, he's out of place.
Funny contrast.
Look at that grungy. Look at that swoop bike. That's cool, or that speeder. So they're heading back. There's like a stampede into Sid's parlor. All right, so this little character, I was going to tell you, you'll see him a lot in Rebels. You're going to see this goat guy a lot. And there's also a guy that walks around with a beard with like a silver headpiece, and he's like one of the original concept art for like what Luke Starkiller was supposed to look like.
Oh,
but
really?
he also looks a little bit like George Lucas, so
that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, we left out that she calls maybe she did already, but she calls Hunter Bandana.
Oh yeah, it's goggles and bandana. She called. Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
The girls love it when she's called Tech Goggles at least twice. So yeah. So let's see. There's Goat Boy. And now Sid is just, she loves Omega because Omega doesn't lose to Jarek hollow chess. And there's
Look at Omega's face.
There's
there.
that
She's
guy.
like so.
just think they intentionally put that. They could have put any character in there. They put this alien in there because I don't know. I think it's like a little nod to the Lucas character, but it's interesting.
And they showed that same race like 3 or 4 times in this episode, in the other world.
Yeah, and that's not a common like character or race that they use. So debts are paid. They're reunited. You're right. He was really not happy that she didn't get to go on that mission. So it's a happy ending. It's a happy ending.
We left.
What else we forget?
We forgot that scene when they were going to rescue the senator, that Hunter says like, me and Omega or whatever. They're like, oh wait, she's not here.
That was big. I'm glad you remember that.
I forgot about that part. And there's Sid in the background saying, let's go discuss our payment.
Oh yeah. So he owes her some. Everybody owes Sid, right? But Hunter and Tech were formulating a plan, as they do, on the ground, and he said, "You stay back." Hunter said, "You stay back with Omega." He said, "That would be highly impossible, as she is not here." And he's like, "Oh yeah." So it's like a reflex now. It's like she's so part of the team when she's not there, something's missing.
I'll go back a little bit. There's like a funny.
That's a great moment.
When Hunter is like mad, like, oh, you're supposed to be keeping a low profile, whatever. You see, like when Wrecker like walks by Hunter, he kind of hits him in the shoulder.
Oh, he shoulder checks him.
He shoulder checks him and looks at him like, you need to like.
Oh, that's the shot right there.
Yeah, he's
Lay off.
telling him you need to like make things right with her. You need she's upset. You need to like make it right.
Oh yeah, without saying anything, right?
Yeah. It's just a quick. Too bad we can't play it, but it's a really cool little like scene that you know something you don't expect from Wrecker, that he would even understand that. But he's like, he hits him and says, "Hey, you need to like, she did good. You need to like let her know."
That's great. That's it. Now they have a little their quiet moment of the episode, and it's, look how sad she is. So it's like
you paid off all our debts.
Yeah.
She's like,
and then he challenges her. He's like, if you can beat me, then you can go. I won't leave you behind again. And he's obviously gonna lose. He's gonna lose, right? He can't.
But she's pretty good at it, so she probably can beat him without, him letting her. But yeah, he says, "Are you ready?" She's like, "Are you?"
Yeah, and then it just fades out. So I wish I could. Can I just play it for 1 second? I want to look at the cast list.
Oh yeah, it can come up in a second, right?
Yeah. So I have the full movie file. This isn't like, I'm not screen grabbing Disney Plus.
There it is.
So it stays.
Liam O'Brien is Bolo, and Sam Riegel is Ketch.
So a lot of times with these little bit parts, but I don't know if these are going to be bit parts, but they'll, like the sound engineer will, like the guy that does Grievous and like a bunch of other, and Bib Fortuna. He's like a sound designer, sound engineer. And then David W. Collins, who works at Skywalker Sound, he does a lot of bit parts in like the Clone Wars, and he works on this stuff. They're all friends, I guess, and colleagues for years. David Collins does an amazing podcast called The Soundtrack Show.
Oh, it's so good.
That covers like really in depth. What do you want to say?
Movie soundtracks.
Yeah, but like analysis, like really in-depth analysis, and David Collins is like a really good musician, and he will just like, it sounds like he records that in front of his piano, his podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he'll pick out a part of a song and he'll like play a few notes from it, and he'll dissect it, and like, so like we all get an education in music, but we also get the true meanings, because there's Easter eggs in all these soundtracks, right? Like there's all this hidden meaning and all these and these underscores. There's all these hidden meanings and well, obvious meanings, but yeah. So anyway, a lot of these little bit part Star Wars cartoon voiceovers are like
just people sitting around.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you want to be? Let's see.
That's cool. See, and so that was episode 10. So we have 6 left, and I really have no one good thing about the show is I don't really know where it's going or what it keeps you on your toes every episode. You're not sure where it's going to go. It's not like you don't know what's going to happen, which is great. It's not like
I
easy
feel like
to figure out.
I feel like this was a strategically placed episode to give us to catch our breath. What do you think? Right? I think it's going to get really dark really soon. So Liam O'Brien, American voice actor. He's 45. He's a writer and director also. Regular cast member of the Dungeons & Dragons actual play series Critical Role. So, and he voices some characters in Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Just real quick, I'll look up
Sam Riegel.
Yeah, let's look up Sam. Let's follow these guys, because I'd be curious to see where these characters are going, if they're going anywhere. They're in almost every episode.
Yeah.
Sam Riegel, occasionally known as Jack Lingo, is an American voice actor, director, and writer. He's a regular cast member of the web series Critical Role, in which he and other fellow voice actors played D&D. So he and Liam are apparently buddies, right?
Yeah, probably. Well, it's like in the voice actor world, it's kind of everybody knows everybody.
Yeah. Riegel is best known for voicing Donatello in 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. But he hasn't. I'm not seeing much else. Pardon me while I scratch my eye. Yeah. Right place, right time.
Look up Alexander Siddig. See if it's the guy.
If it's the guy. It is. All right. Avi Singh.
Yeah, I think it's the guy from.
Man, he's an older guy now.
I think it's the guy from Syriana. I think
it is. Yeah, he's an amazing actor.
Yeah,
he was on Deep Space Nine. He was like,
was he?
Yeah. I've seen him we've seen him his whole career. He's from Sudan. He's Sudanese, but he's looking older now. I guess we all are. Oh my gosh!
This is the way.
So what do you?
What's next?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about. I'm still thinking about what's her face, Omega being Boba Fett's sister.
Is I don't know if it's I don't know if I processed it. What are the implications, or what's I assume they're already related, but they're
Alpha and Omega.
Yeah, their DNA is they're twins.
Because
Boba
Fett's name was Alpha before he became Boba Fett.
I thought it was Alfalfa. Wait, so are they not? We talked about this last week, and you said, how old would Boba be right now?
Yeah.
And I saw someone else doing some just speculating and trying to figure that out, and I think they said that they'd be the same age, but that's impossible.
Yeah, no, because Boba Fett was a teenager, in
Attack of the Clones, which was
Attack of the Clones
years before I don't. Yeah, he was her age in Attack of the Clones, basically, right? Like 10, 11. Let's say.
Or 12. Yeah, 10, 11, 12.
Remember when Daniel Logan would come to Disney for Star Wars weekends?
Yeah.
He was not happy then. I think he's happy now. I think I know he's embraced the fandom. He's a Fett.
It probably freaked him out back then.
But back then, he just seemed like he didn't like being at Star Wars weekends. That was my perspective. He was a teenager. He probably had other things he wanted to be doing, but I think he's realized over the decades or over the years, I'm still here, that how important Star Wars is. But I follow him on Instagram.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, he loves Boba. It's all Boba Fett 24/7.
There's no way Boba Fett is the same age as
No.
Omega. It's not possible.
No.
Like, he's got to be. Wasn't he like a character in Clone Wars?
Yeah.
And so Clone Wars is before this. If he's already Boba Fett in Clone Wars, he can't. He's not a kid. He's not like a.
He's not fully realized Boba.
But he's not a preteen.
I don't think they could be the same age. You're right. So that means they just like held on to her. Like they did.
Like we said, like she was in stasis or whatever.
Yeah.
However they want to say it, but they probably made him at the same time, or did a male and a female.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did her later. I don't know, but.
And speaking of clones, like I was really sure of myself that like they were cloning Snokes on that abandoned planet, but apparently that's just like there was a screen grab that someone had put up of the clone like on top of Fennec, and it just looked like a Kaminoan. Like,
oh yeah,
just
because it was big.
I was really reaching for the stars on that one. I was like,
yeah. So I
solve the case. Like I want so badly for there to be a validation for Snoke. I just feel I love his death scene in The Last Jedi. I love the throne room scene, but at what cost? Like what the hell?
Yeah. So Boba Fett has to be at least 10 years older than her, right?
He's got to be like 20 years old.
Yeah, and she's like 11 or 10, maybe.
We can solve this right now. Okay, so no, we can't, but we kind of can because we know how old he is now-ish in The Mandalorian. Fennec's like in her 40s or early 50s, and
Boba's probably a little younger than her, right? I'm guessing.
I mean, he looks terrible, but that's because he got Sarlacc spit on him. Like he was slowly being ingested or digested over the course of 1,000 years.
So I'm thinking if it's like 20, if the Mandalorian is like 20 years later than where we are right now in the Bad Batch, right? Is it 20 years or 30?
It's probably 20 years. I'm going to get a timeline, and I'm going to print it out, and I'm going to put it right above my monitor so we can have this to reference at all times. Because I kind of like trying to connect the dots without seeing it, but it would be very helpful if we could actually know like how old everybody is, and that would just kind of like cement the timeline. Like, where is everybody? I
think Omega's gonna be like what Boba Fett would have been if he never became a bounty hunter. If he just like spent his life doing good. I think that's what they're gonna do with Omega. Like she's gonna be like a
well, you know what?
Like, not like a Jedi, but like a non-force powered version. You know, like just helping people and
kind of like Mando.
Yeah, except for like even nicer.
Yeah. He had to be. He had to meet Grogu.
Unless
who knows what
something happens where she like gets like, you know, we don't know what's going to happen in the future where she loses her her optimism.
I blame Mace Windu for this whole thing. Like, did he have to really take Jango's head off? Like,
he did it like so nonchalantly.
Ugh, that was brutal. I was like, really, was that necessary? Even then, like looking back on it, even at the time it happened, I'm like, really? Like, is this the parallel? Like, you just create an amazing character, like visually, and like the potential for this character is so great, and then you just like throw him in a Sarlacc pit, or you have Mace Windu cut their head off effortlessly. That's like the parallel. It's like a recurring theme in Star Wars, and I hate it, but it's Star Wars.
You have the coolest character, IG.
There you go.
IG-11, and they kill him twice.
Oh, don't get you started on that.
Oh, I miss that character every day.
But he could return.
Yeah, so I thought it was a good. Like I said, I think it's like I think you're right. This episode was like a take a breath. Nothing too crazy happens, but it also was like about character development and you know, kind of getting into their politics, and you know, they're realizing they can't be on the side that they used to be. You know, they're like, I can't believe we're helping the Separatists, but like, what's the alternative? You're helping the Empire, you know, like, yeah, it's, you know, you can't really either pick a side or don't pick a side, but, you know, obviously they know the Empire is not going to be helping them out anytime soon, but, you know, and they set some things up and just maybe Omega's going to have like a bigger role with them now, you know, even more than she's had before. And they're going to start trusting her, you know, when he sees how good she can do strategy and how much she means to them. Yeah, so yeah, I don't really know what to. I can't even like. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 or 6 episodes.
I don't know. What's scarier is what happens after. Like, what do we do? What are we going to do in 5 weeks?
When does the other one come out?
Like Book of Boba Fett's December.
Mm-hmm.
Mando hasn't even started.
I heard they finished filming on that, right?
Yeah, but they haven't even started on. They're shooting Obi-Wan, and Book of Boba's in post, and Mando hasn't even started, and that's according to Pedro from that. He kind of let slip when he was doing that UN interview that we covered a couple weeks ago, that they haven't even started Mando yet, unless he's pulling our leg, but I don't think he is. I think he slipped on accident, but that's fine. Like, I mean, it is fine, but I can't wait to see some new Mando, but we're going to get, it's like the Mandoverse now. Like, Ahsoka is going to probably feel like that. Yeah, I mean, it could be something completely different that, like, tonally, but
this isn't Star Wars, but it's like, I guess it's a little bit linked from Pedro. How do you say his last name? Pascal.
Pascal, yeah.
He has a movie coming out with Nicolas Cage, where Nicolas Cage plays himself, and the movie is like an action thriller where Nicolas Cage plays Nicolas Cage, who's down on his luck and needs money, and he accepts like money from Pedro's character to go to his house, and he has to like recreate scenes from his own movie.
Get out. They make
this is a real
feature film.
It's a feature film. Look it up. Like, I forget what it's called, but there's like a movie. I think they may have already shot it.
It sounds like an SNL sketch.
But it's Nicolas Cage playing himself.
Oh my God.
and it's like, and it says he's like, part of the movie is he has to recreate scenes from his past movies.
I will pray tonight before I go to bed. I will pray that he reenacts H.I. McDonough from Raising Arizona, please. God.
I don't know. I'll find the link and send it to you. But
H.I. McDonough.
Somehow that popped up on my feed or somewhere. I saw it somewhere today, and I was like, "This sounds like the craziest thing."
This does tie into Star Wars because he played Cameron Poe in Con Air, and Star Wars has Poe Dameron.
Oh yeah.
Which I think that's where they actually got Poe Dameron's name is from Cameron Poe. I heard that somewhere. Who knows? But yeah, I love that. Put the bunny in the box. Please give us that. The 90s, man. The 90s.
Oh, that movie's so bad. We're gonna come back
It's
and
so
watch it.
bad. It's good though.
I just watched The Face Off the other day. Speaking of another Nicolas Cage masterpiece.
Yeah.
I watched that not too long ago. It's so
John
crazy,
Woo.
over the top.
Yeah. The 90s were wild for those types of movies. Like, yeah. For the Michael Bay, Simon West, Tony Scott, Jerry Bruckheimer, like those guys. What do they call that? Like toxic masculinity or whatever? Like,
I don't know.
It was all about just adrenaline and.
Well, they're supposed to be doing a sequel to Face Off. Did you know that?
I don't care.
Like a direct sequel with
Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
And Nicolas Cage, I think.
I don't remember how that ended. I feel like we saw it in the theater together at AMC.
I'm sure we
at the AMC 24 in Lake Buena Vista.
It ends in like a big boat. There's like a big boat like chase, and I'm pretty sure that the boat chase is the end, and then like they crash the boat on the end, and then they're trying to kill each other, and John Travolta, Nicolas Cage, whatever, he gets killed, like a harpoon goes. He shoots him with a harpoon, and then.
So how are they gonna have a sequel?
I don't know, because they show him in the.
Is there a trailer?
I don't think so. I don't think they started filming it yet, but I heard they're making a sequel to it. But they never really say that the bad guy, I can't remember what his name is from that movie. It's almost like a Cameron Poe type name. I forgot.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is.
Cyrus the Virus.
No, it's like driving me crazy. I can't remember. It's like
that's
cool
for another
name,
time. That's a story for another time.
Yeah. But like they never really show him dying, so they could definitely they could say he survived and they saved him and he's in prison or something. But
I'd rather see a Con Air sequel, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Remember like how they're in Vegas on the Strip and then just magically Malkovich flies off of a fire truck and ends up in a construction site where they're
on like a conveyor belt.
It's the whole construction site is running. I guess it's the city that never sleeps, but like there's like a jackhammer, like or whatever like something, a boring machine or something.
Yeah,
and he falls just so perfectly. His head falls underneath and then just gets pulverized.
Well, the whole reason why Cameron Poe goes to prison is because these guys are like attacking his wife. Like two guys attack him and his wife,
and then he
like fights back. He like protects himself, and then so he goes to jail for protecting himself against two people trying to kill him.
Yeah, and weren't there many eyewitnesses?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
He just gets railroaded, and then he was like a Green Beret or something. Like he like with distinguished service record. Like he was stripped of all of that, dishonorably discharged, sent to prison for life, maximum security, because two rednecks tried to
attack him. And like, isn't it like they're like, oh, I've been overseas and his wife is pregnant at the same time. It's like, oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
And the voiceover, like they're writing letters back and forth, remember? to his daughter, Dear Casey, it's all right. Life's all right. Daddy's okay. Dear Daddy.
I got you a bunny. But yeah, go watch if you can find it. Go watch the beginning and how he's in a bar and for some
I know it.
Nowhere,
I know the scene. It's raining outside, right?
Yeah, and for some reason the rednecks hate military people. Like, how many rednecks you know that hate military? Like, what are you doing here, soldier boy?
Yeah. Usually, yeah. Wouldn't it be like, thank you for your service? Like,
yeah.
Let me buy you a beer.
For some reason, they just hate him because he's in the military. But yeah, he totally like. There's who convicted? What jury convicted him for like protecting his pregnant wife? And two guys, he got attacked by two guys just because he's a Green Beret. He knows how to protect himself. He can fight back.
Yeah, I think the judge was like admonishing him because he's like,
you need to control yourself.
Yeah, he's a lethal weapon, and like, how shame on you.
Oh.
All right.
Well, we got off the rails there, but
wow.
Fun.
Yeah.
We now can Banva Podo.
Just to remind everybody, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
So one of these days we're going to have people in the chat and they can help fact check and inspire some conversation, but we don't need them anyway. We could talk.
Yeah,
we could sit here and talk or not talk all night.
Get messages from myself. Listen. Well, let's end this because otherwise we'll get off on another movie tangent and it'll be another.
I know, it's fun, and I got to pack for our trip tomorrow, so we won't be live. We won't be doing it live on Monday. We won't be.
We'll do it live.
So, but we'll be back the following week, and I guess you and I will regroup next Friday night. Yeah, and we'll try to keep it concise. Look at us. I don't know how long this thing went, but
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We're working on it.
But we had to. Aaron was like, I think that's a great idea, and I think Aaron was already thinking of it. Like, we had to like spin this off from our Monday night show because we could just like, it's its own thing. And also, I like the fact that we can spoil it like right away. Like, I mean, I put spoiler on the description and stuff, so that shouldn't be a surprise. But I just like to talk about it while it's still fresh, because I think people are looking for some commentary while it's still fresh and not like, days later.
Oh, and watch, have the girls check out that droid, the Lego Star Wars Droid Tales. It's like, it's really funny, and they make like a bunch of self-referential jokes about Star Wars. And
yeah, did you see the Lego holiday special?
I haven't watched it yet. I just saw it, but I remember I do want the Droid Tale one just for a minute because I remember watching it when it was on TV and I thought it was really good, so I just wanted to watch it for a second. But that Lego stuff is all good. I think the girls would like the Droid Tales though. It's really funny.
Yeah. They love the holiday special, and if it's more of that, then they'll totally dig it. And we haven't quite dug into, like, I have some Star Wars Lego games like on the Xbox, and we haven't yet really gone there with them. Yeah, but
and I'm gonna watch some more Rebels, so maybe next week we can talk about a little bit of Rebels since I'm watching it for the first time.
Absolutely, we'll do a Rebels recap, and let me know what episodes you watched or where you are, and
I'll try to get through the whole season. Because I'm a few episodes in right now, so I should have the rest of the season knocked out by Friday, so we can just kind of go over like and do a quick recap of what's going on with that show. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. What episode did you just finish now? Maybe I'll try to like keep up with you. I'll rewatch. We're just watching like random episodes. We'll just put on their favorite episodes and watch. But
the one I just watched was the one. The last one I just finished was the one where the big guy steals the TIE fighter.
Zeb.
Yeah, and they're looking for that certain fruit or whatever, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun episode, especially with the whole TIE fighter stuff and flying.
Yeah. All right, real quick. I have to know, like, give me a quick, while it's still fresh, you just started watching Rebels, your initial thoughts. I'm going to call out each character, and I want to get, like, just give me couple words of descriptors of. All right, Zeb. What do you think about Zeb?
I
so
don't
far?
know. It's just like a fun. He kind of almost reminds me of Wrecker, but like a smarter Wrecker. Like
Yeah.
He's cool. I like him. Like it's even in the first 4 episodes, he's grown on me.
Kanan.
Cool. Like you said, you don't really. I liked the surprise that he was a Jedi. You didn't really know. You know, they didn't really let you know that. Like, I like that character. Like a fun. Like I said, it's a very fun show. Like it's like it's
light.
So far.
Yeah, it's light because it's like it's made for. Originally, the intention was to make it whatever the rating is for young kids, but it's like the lightest Star Wars show, but it's not going to stay that way. I can tell you that. Sabine.
Which one's that one? Is that
she's
the
Mandalorian? Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool. I like the character design for her. Just like, you know, like you said, she's very with like the frosted tips, and like the artwork and stuff.
And the artwork, I think that layer, that layer to her is so fascinating, or so it just like enriches her character that she's into like street art and painting and Ezra.
She's like is that the kid?
Yeah.
I really like that character. He's like, it kind of reminds me of like if Star Wars had like an Aladdin character. He looks like
I knew I had a feeling you're going to go there since you're so familiar with Disney and Aladdin.
Yeah, I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, immediately like he's like a street rat. That first episode, right? He's just like stealing to survive.
I think they even call him a street rat at one point.
Yeah.
They like literally say like he's just a street rat.
He looks like him. He even the voice actor is similar. What about Hera, the Twi'lek pilot?
She's like like no nonsense. Like, even though the one guy, the Jedi guy, is like the leader, she seems like the real leader of the group. She's cool. Like it's a good like. I wasn't sure what to expect with it, but like as soon as it started, I liked it like right away. It was really
awesome. That's great.
It hooked me like from the first episode, just the look and especially that first episode where they steal the stuff and they have the little chase on the speeders. That was really fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, we actually rewatched that one. The girls and I rewatched it a couple weeks ago. That first episode. Now, after I watched this guy's video thesis of the whole series, which after you watch it, it's only 4 seasons. Watch this this guy's analysis of it. All right, man, that's cool. I'm excited that you're watching Rebels. So we'll do like a little Rebels recap. This is turning into its own like thing. Bad Batch review, and then we'll do a Rebels recap, and of course
some random Nick Cage.
Nick Cage filmography.
We'll focus on later Nick Cage.
Yeah, and then we'll like digress into what's his face, Andy Samberg's version of Nicolas Cage from SNL, which I thought was fantastic.
I'm gonna steal.
God, I still like. I love Nick Cage. Like, I haven't watched anything he's done since like The Wicker Man. I think.
Oh, watch this movie called Mandy.
Oh, except for Mandy, I did see that.
The crazy one.
That is that is wild.
Oh, he was good in you probably saw it. He was real good in Kick-Ass.
That's right. Yeah.
He was great. I love that. That was like one of his better roles that he's done recently.
He's in total like people think he's like I don't know. He's in total control of himself. Like right?
Yeah.
Meaning that Kick-Ass was like such a great role for him. Maybe not his typical thing, but like
yeah, it was perfect. Like I loved that character in that movie. Was so great. Now I one more thing, and I'll let you know.
Nicolas Cage.
I just watched this Nicolas Cage movie. It's called like Willy's Wonderland or something like that. Have you seen it?
I think I've heard of it.
It's on Hulu. I think it's on Hulu now, and it's this movie where he gets put in this like a Chuck E. Cheese type place, but then the Chuck E. Cheese characters all come to life and they try to murder you. And
this is on right now. I can go watch this right now.
You can go watch it right. If you have Hulu, I think it's on there right now. It's like Willy's Wonderland or something like that.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous, but it's like I said, it's like he's fighting like Chuck E. Cheese characters. Like, you know, the band, like each character on the band is like this little thing, and it's very, very strange movie. And it's
so
like,
is he in control, or is he just taking parts to like pay off his debts? Like,
I don't think he made any money off this, because it's like
no.
When you watch it, it's not like a big budget movie. I think it just right now, I think he's just trying to do weird, fun stuff. I think he's maybe paid off most of his debts now, and he's just doing whatever makes him happy, I feel like, or whatever he feels is interesting. Because that Wonderland movie, whatever it's called, is like the weirdest thing you've ever seen. It's nuts.
Oh, that's wild. All right, I'll have to go check it out.
All right,
let's
we'll keep going if we don't.
All right, I'm just gonna roll us out. So I'm gonna play us out.
We'll do it live.
Bye for now.
Yeah, what I'm supposed to say is, oh, good night, dog. Oh, yeah, that's one of our listeners. Look at that. Now he's waking up as we're signing off. He's waking up. But yeah, I just need to throw this out there for anybody that watches this in the playback, because nobody's watching right now. But I hope people will like and subscribe and turn on notifications and come check us out again for our next live show, because we need some folks to help us along here.
I watch almost every TV show that comes out on streaming, so if you have any questions about anything, let me know.
Yeah, for sure. Ray can answer those questions. All right, I'm gonna play us out. I think. Here we go. May the force be with you. Bye for now.